Well, welcome back. A notorious hoodlum's story of crime and corruption hits the big screen this weekend.
Our movie reviewer, Matt Perrone, tells us if one mobster movie buried the competition on the big screen.
Welcome to another Monday. As per usual, I was going to go see the Scorch Trials, but of course my brain gets in the way and tells me, hey, it's going to be kind of tough to review a sequel if people haven't seen the first. So I decided to put that one on the back burner and go see one of the other new releases. Well, of course the Scorch Trials took the top spot at the box office, but at least the movie I did see took the #2 spot. So without any further ado, here's my take on the biographic Whitey Bulger picture, Black Mass. Our film begins and is told through depositions. The former crew of James Whitey Bulger is exchanging testimony for immunity or reduced sentences, and through flashbacks we see the rise to power of the Boston Irish Mafia boss. Bulger, played by a well-made-up Johnny Depp, runs the majority of organized crime in Irish-dominated South Boston. Growing up, he and his brother were friends with John Connolly, who is now a major player in the FBI's Boston office. The two strike a deal for Bulger to divulge information to take down Boston's Italian mafia in exchange for protection to carry out any and all of his organization's business. Not a surprise to anyone, when you give a gangster an inch, you better be prepared for him to take mile after mile. As the movie progresses, we see Bulger's competition systematically eliminated as he begins to turn his organization into a criminal empire. Through the testimonies of his fellow conspirators, we see exactly how ruthless Bulger was. From racketeering to drugs to murder, nothing was too extreme and no one was safe, friend or enemy. Listening to his, quote, friends tell these stories is a little creepy, as you can hear their voice recognizing exactly in what they partook. As the movie progresses, we see the thin line that the FBI is walking become increasingly unstable, as not only is a new U.S. attorney brought in to help clean up Boston, but their grasp on Bulger is loosening by the day. We see his crimes escalate as the FBI has to make inside decisions on how to rein this in, along with saving their own necks. All throughout the movie, we get to see the rise of Bulger leading up to his eventual placement on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. The movie has all the aspects of good gangster films. It leaves you on the edge of your seat wondering if Bulger is actually going to go there, and oh yeah, he just did. It also keeps you guessing as to how this will eventually end and who will wind up behind bars or in a shallow grave. So this is one of those movies that went pretty much exactly how I expected it to go. It's a typical gangster film, but what really messes with your mind is that you know that everything that's happening on screen actually happened. It's kind of funny. I mean, you see the end and I was like, oh, I remember that. That happened while I was here, while I was working in the news. Definitely a gritty, real-life look at what went down on the streets of Boston during that time period. What's amazing is that these crimes were all very blatant, some of them done in broad daylight. And what's also amazing is that the FBI was right there the entire time, and all these crimes were being perpetrated by their own informant. Kind of an interesting look at the justice system. When you see the end credits and you see the actual footage of these actual people and the actual crimes, it really drives home how true this story is. What I really found funny is the amount of time that Johnny Depp must have had to sit in that makeup chair just to look like Ray Liotta. I mean, I think they probably could have saved some time and money and just hired Ray Liotta. But in all seriousness, Johnny Depp does a really good job with the role. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
Sounds like an intriguing movie.
It definitely does, and it looks like it's going to be pretty good, too, so we'll have to check it out.
Yeah, still ahead for you. We're going to check out your last look at your forecast.
That's right. It's coming your way next on ABC Columbia News at 12:30, live from Main and Gervais.